remember, because I can't remember the story that you told, but maybe you could tell a version, the Reader's Digest version, of the time that you were getting ready
to the Queen's Garden Party.
You were invited to the Queen's Garden Party, but you weren't quite ready, and you had to get yourself fitted before you, and what state you were in before you went to the party, and what state you were in after.
I can do that, you see.
You might have to stand up, Bob. So
yeah, all right. Well, we were in England at the time, and I was studying there, and I had this rather, I was doing a PhD actually, so I was sort of winding up my thesis, and it was to do with the relationship between digestibility and energy retention in sheep. So I found out.
You may want to get another drink.
Much to my sort of regret and sorrow that I couldn't. I was working at the Grassland Research Institute in England, and I had all these little sheepies grazing around, and I fed them various rations. I knew exactly what they were eating, but I had to go back and decide I was going to measure the energy in all of these things. And I was rather more energetic then than I am now. And so I decided I was going to slaughter these animals, feed them, know what went into them.
Richard's giving you some more fuel for your talk.
I know what came out of them. I measured all that came out too. And then we decided then we'd kill them. And I couldn't kill them. I found out, you see, I could kill these damn things, but I couldn't because of all these rules and laws in England. and so I had to go to the slaughterhouse in Reading to do this. And so I marshalled a whole bunch of fellows from the institute, and away we went. And so these things were in the slaughterhouse. And if you've ever seen the English slaughterhouse in Reading, you know these guys don't waste any time. You hear that? And there were sheep. There were sheep with bits and guts and blood, and we had to collect it all.
It's
running around
garden party
buckets
story.
And it finished up that I went there with a tie on, believe me or not. You had to go with it and everything. So I was in rather a mess. And when I finished, I had we had been invited to a garden party in Buckingham Palace due to my wife's war work. Where is she?
She's behind you.
She'd heard on this story before, you see. And so the first time we got one command. We couldn't go because I was working for the GRI in Cambridge somewhere. And the second one, well, Rod Laver was playing in his first Wimbledon, and I wanted to see him win his first Wimbledon title. I'm not going to go see the bloody Queen when you got
when you can see
Rod Laver. So Veronica threatened, if you don't go next time, I'm going to get someone off the street to go with me.
She'd have been better off.
She'd have been better off. So anyway, so this was you put you in the position now that we were on that third one. We decided we better obey the third command from the Queen. So I had to wear morning suit, top hat, all that. I've got a photograph somewhere. It looked real top. But we didn't have one. We had to hire one. So I went out from the slaughterhouse. Oh boy, I smelled. And I go into Moss Brothers in Reading, and Moss were out. Oh, they're fantastic people. I go in the door, and the nose is in the air, and I really smelt. If you ever smelt the guts of a sheep, you know what I mean.
Sorry, guys.
So we go round to the back end, and he said, "Yes, sir. What can I do for you, sir?" "Well, I want a morning suit." "Oh, righto." So we take me around the back, and he's measuring me up and so forth. And then, and where would you be going? You're going to a wedding, sir? "No." "You're going to a birthday party?" "No." Deadly silence, Finally, he said, "Where would you be going, sir?" I said, "We're going to Buckingham Palace." And we brought, you know, if you've ever heard an Australian accent in Reading, you know that it's pretty, you know, particularly in Moss Brothers. And so he said, right, he said, oh.
Right.
And so I measured, I went out there, and there were 9 guys on either side. They bowed me out of the thing. Yes, sir, yes, sir. Yes. And that's the end of my story. We went to Buckingham Palace.
So,
No, actually, it's not the end of the story.
so Bob, one of the things I want to know, they took care of your suit, but what did they do about the smell? Did they just take care of the Queen, or did they take care of you?
The smell was gone by the time we went to the Queen, but we went to the Buckingham Palace, and we decided the kids were being looked after.
No, that's enough. No.
And we decided we'd go to a show in London afterwards. So we left there and we waved to everybody when we went out. And we hopped in our bomb of a standard Vanguard car we had, and then we went up to the. I had to change out of this clobber. I couldn't go running around London in a morning suit. So I had my suit there, and I went to the gents' toilet in James Park, changed.
No details spared.
No change. Came out, and we decided there's a little Chinese place on the Strand. We're going to go and have a nice Chinese dinner. So we went there, and we're in the. There are 2 stories, and we were in a bit of a hurry, so we stayed down the bottom floor, and the guy came along, and we had a nice dinner. And so we paid him and left. And so we're walking back down the Strand. The next thing, there's this Chinese gentleman running behind me. Yes, sir, you haven't paid, sir, you haven't paid, sir. And I said, here we are, Buckingham Palace, and there's somebody.
Somebody's still trying to make you pay the bill.
Yeah, I paid the bloody bill.
Well, Bob, I'm really glad that I bought the iPhone with the larger memory on it. But I'm afraid that when I load this up on the YouTube, it's going to bring the internet to its knees.